Running back breakouts. That's what I think we're gonna get from Marshall Faulk this year in the Colorado Buffaloes running backs. I think that this has been a room that I have been kind of quiet on, sleeping on, I think. But as fall camp has started up, I think that we've started to see a lot of great plays from our running backs. And we finally got the offensive line to really highlight what they bring to the table. So I'm gonna break down today, guys, why I'm very bullish on this room that Marshall Faulk is coaching. Of course, let me know in the comments after you like and subscribe who your favorite running back is, maybe a dark horse for some substantial touches throughout this year. But let's go ahead and dive into it. We're going to take a look at quotes not only from Coach Faulk, but some of the other running backs that spoke today. And I think the biggest difference right now with Coach Faulk as compared to Coach Flea, you don't want to look too much in the rearview mirror, but I think that there's just a whole other level now in terms of preparation that this room is getting from Coach Faulk when it comes to the details. And he seems very confident in this group that, hey, he even said this quote, if we lose two guys, we'll be good. As far as the knowledge, execution, and what to do, they'll all know. I absolutely love to hear that. And I mean, just hear what Micah Welch had to say building on top of this.
It's amazing.
What's that experience been like?
I learned a lot from Coach Faulk this year. He changed our path, where we line up in the backfield. That means a lot being a running back in college football or in the NFL. So it really been amazing from him coaching me. So
yes.
yes.
And I'll say that again in case you didn't hear it well. Michael Welch is saying that Coach Faulk has changed where the running backs have aligned in the backfield, where they're lining up as well as their path. Michael went on to talk about how he feels like he's developed so much more patience this year coming into his sophomore year. And I think that's something that our running backs did struggle with. Again, some of this has to do with the offensive line. Some of it, I think, had to do with coaching, but changing the path in which running backs are reading, reacting, running towards, changing the way that they're anticipating, reading blocks. This is all stuff that Marshall Faulk, again, being one of the greatest running backs ever, he's now having the opportunity to instill in these guys. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out. Starting week one here in a few weeks against Georgia Tech. It's right around the corner. But Michael Welch, you've seen from the Well Off and Reach the People media videos, he's running much more confidently, violently, not necessarily always bouncing everything to the outside, but really keeping his feet moving, finding contact and pushing through it. Like I just love what I've seen out of the running backs. And again, you cannot understate the amount of detail that Marshall Faulk is instilling in them. And that's going to make such a big difference on game day. It's really those details that make a huge difference. And then Kaylin Taylor, describing his game. We'll listen to this.
Blink, you might miss it. That's how I describe my offensive play. But overall, I feel like I bring to the offense my speed and my versatility, but overall, just a great teammate. I'm always wanting the next guy to win. Even if it's not me, my teammates winning, we're all winning.
And I love to hear that. Again, just a wonderful addition to the locker room to Kaylin Taylor. And he also said in his interview, he's like, man, I am the fastest guy in the team. I'm throwing my hat in there. And I definitely think he's one of the guys, if not the fastest. So I know we got a lot of competition there for the fastest guy in the team, but having an explosive weapon like him out of the backfield. And Michael Welch went on to say this, maybe more so at the beginning of his press conference. He said, you will see two back sets in this offense. We're running the ball much more. It has been a substantial emphasis throughout spring ball as well as fall camp that we're just going to be running the ball a lot more. You've seen glimpses of it, again, in the practice footage with two back sets, with running some of this zone read, option type stuff with Kaidon Salter. It's going to be a fun offense to watch for sure. And then Dallan Hayden, check out Dallan Hayden, what he had to say. Pull up this tweet right here. He said, hey, we're, quote, a lot more balanced. Just listen to this.
Last year, and a few great receivers that are gone. So I would say we're more balanced this year. And our offensive line and different personnel groupings that the coaches are putting together allows us to be more balanced. And it's been great so far. Last year.
Yeah, we're going to see some more creativity, some balance on offense this year. And I think it's going to really benefit our running backs. Again, I think that we got a group that might be filled with question marks in terms of, on paper, none of these guys have been, super duper productive yet. But I think they got the potential to really carve out names for themselves this year with the Buffs. Again, Michael Welch getting on the field as much as he did as a true freshman, that's great. We're just seeing the baseline for him, what we saw last year. Dallan Hayden talked about this again. He's 100% back from that high ankle sprain. And I think that we've seen a different version of him so far in fall camp as to, compared in the regular season after he came back from that. So in addition to Kaylin Taylor, we also have Simeon Price. And oh my goodness, I just had to tweet this out. Look at this, looking like Saquon Barkley out here. Hurdling a defender right there. You see everybody's pumped up about it. I think that, man, we got 4 really, really interesting, talented running backs. I look forward to seeing the 4-headed monster, but I think ultimately Dallan, he's going to start out being that guy, but he talked about this in the press conference as well, is that Coach Faulk, he's going to play the guys who are practicing the hardest throughout the week. And I think that we're finding a new level of accountability in this room, which is what we've needed to get to the next level. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from the running backs. I cannot wait to see this running attack in action, man. It's been a while. So y'all let me know what you think about this, who you're most excited for. But might we see a 1,000-yard rusher out of this room? Let me know who it is, y'all. Have a great day and Go Buffs.